The next topic here is isomerism in coordination compounds. So we all know isomers. Okay, so what are isomers? They are two or more compounds. They have the same chemical formula, but they have different arrangement of atoms. Okay, because of their different arrangements of atoms, what happen? They differ in one or more physical or chemical property. So isomerism in coordination compounds is mainly divided into two categories. You can see this is stereoisomerism, and that then you have structural isomerism. So stereoisomerism or stereoisomers, they have the same chemical formula and chemical bonds, but they differ in spatial arrangements. Okay, in space the atoms are arranged differently. Okay, so it is further divided into two categories, that is your geometrical isomerism and optical isomerism. Then structural isomerism, they have different bonds. Okay, here they had same bonds but arrangement was different. Structural isomerism, they have different bonds. Formula is the same. Structural isomerism are further divided into linkage isomerism, coordination isomerism, ionization isomerism, and solvate isomerism. So let's look into them in more detail. Geometrical isomerism. Now, geometrical isomerism arises in heteroleptic complexes. Okay, heteroleptic means they have more than one form of more than one type of ligands. So that is due to the different possible geometric arrangements of the ligand. Okay. So important examples are found in coordination number 4 and 6. So you can see this is your PT, central metal atom or ion, and Cl, Cl, NH3, NH3. So Cl, Cl, NH3, NH3 are ligands. Okay. And if you see, the arrangement here is a little bit different. So this is your cis and this is your trans. If you see, they make kind of a T, okay, as they are crossing each other, and cis, they are staying together. Okay, same side. So note that all this is possible in coordination number 4 and 6. They are not possible when coordination number is equals to 5 or less. Okay, let's say 3 or 2. Okay, you can see again here cobalt, chlorine both are together, and this is your trans form, so they form your T. Same way here, they are both are chlorides are in the same side. Here they are opposite, so that is again your trans. Okay, two ligand X may be arranged adjacent to each other, that is your cis isomer, or if they are arranged opposite to each other, that is your trans isomer. So please note down, and also note down the condition that it is possible only in coordination number 4 and 6. Next, it also arises in octahedral coordination entity. Octahedral coordination entity is this one, that is 6. Okay, you can see. So in that case, we call FAC and MER isomer. Okay, so FAC isomer is the one where it is like, for example, NO2 is opposite to NH3. NO2 is opposite to NH3, NO2 is opposite to NH3. Okay, so the three donor atoms of the same ligand occupy the adjacent position at the corners of the octahedral face. Okay, so hence the name FAC. Then the MER isomer or meridional isomer is the one where the positions are around the meridian of the octahedron. You can see in this particular case, you have NO2 opposite to NO2. That was not the case here. Okay, I repeat, NO2 is opposite to NO2. NH3 is opposite to NH3. So that gives you that it's a MER isomer, whereas in FAC isomer, the other opposite ones are never the same. So that way you can identify. So that is for octahedral coordination entities. Second part, optical isomerism. So we have studied optical isomerism in the previous classes also. So optical isomers are mirror images that cannot be superimposed on one another. Okay, so if you remember, we were talking about chiral carbon. Okay, when we were talking about SN1, SN2 type of reaction. So there we studied first time optical isomerism and optical activity. So these optical isomers, they are also called as enantiomers. Okay, and the central molecule or the ion is actually a chiral molecule, chiral atom. Okay, so here you can see this cobalt will become your chiral. Okay, because its mirror image cannot be superimposed. So there are mainly two forms, that is dextrorotatory and levorotatory form. So it depends on the direction which they will rotate your plane polarized light in polarimeter. Dextrorotatory rotates the right towards the right, and levorotatory rotates the light towards the left. Okay, so this is your dextro form, this is your levo form. Next, linkage isomerism. Now we are going into the geometrical isomerism. Okay, so linkage isomerism is due to its different geometry. Okay, different bonds are present. So linkage isomerism arises in the coordination compounds which contain ambidendant ligand. Okay, for example, you can see thiocyanate ligand, that is NCS. So S is making the bond with the central atom ion. And if I talk about this one, that is nitrogen, if that makes the bond with the metal, so that is a different story. Okay, so and in this case sulfur can give its electron, or nitrogen can give its electron. So if you see, the bond between the metal and the ligand is different, hence there is a difference of linkage. Okay, in complex you can see here cobalt, one example is given, cobalt is there, ammonia 5, NO2 is there. So this is obtained as red form. Okay, but when let's say that this NO2, if it is joined with oxygen, you can see oxygen can also give its electron to the central metal atom ion. So if it does that, it will be as a yellow form. Sorry, that will be a red form, and yellow form will be when your nitrogen gives the electron. Okay, note that red form is when oxygen gives electron, and yellow form in which the nitrate ligand is bound through nitrogen. Okay, so there are two possible cases. It is happening only when there is an ambidendant ligand, otherwise no. Next, coordination isomerism. So this type of isomerism arises from interchange of ligand between cationic and anionic entities. Okay, that is of different metal ion which is present inside the complex. For example, if you see here we have cobalt NH36, chromium CN6. What if they got interchanged? Okay, so you can see here we have chromium NH36. So if you see here, it was originally it was cobalt, here it is chromium. So if you see the overall molecular formula or coordination entity, like if I write the molecular formula, it's the same. I have one chromium, one cobalt, 6 NH3 and 6 CN. Same thing is here, cobalt is there, chromium is there, 6 NH3 is there, 6 CN is there. So but the structures are different. Okay, so this is coordination isomerism because we are changing the entire coordination sphere. Okay, so just note down this one. Next, ionization isomerism. So this form of isomerism arises when the counter ion, okay, which itself can be a potential ligand. For example, Br, okay, bromine is actually a ligand, it's a possible ligand. So Br will go inside the coordination sphere, removing SO4. So SO4 becomes your counter ion, and bromide enters inside the coordination sphere. So such type is known as ionization isomerism. Okay, and what was there inside, that becomes your coordination counter ion. Lastly, solvate isomerism. So this is also known as hydrate isomerism. In this case, water is involved as a solvent. Okay, so that is your solvate isomerism. So solvate isomerism differ by whether or not a solvent molecule is directly bonded to the metal ion or merely present as free solvent molecule in the crystal lattice. For example, agua complex, chromium H2O6 Cl3, that is your violet, and its solvate isomerism, if you see, chromium H2O5 Cl Cl2 dot H2O. So if you see, the structures are completely different. Here you have six water ligands, here you have only five, and chloride came inside. And water, one water which has been removed, that stays as your hydrate part, okay, dot H2O. Okay, hence this is your example of solvate isomerism. You can see the color is also different, violet, gray, green color here. And that's it. Thank you.